Hello everyone and welcome to the San Miguel Brief. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Regina Trujillo and it's a pleasure for me to start the week here with you and of course to present you the best news and events of our city. So let's get started with the currency exchange. As you can see in the screen, the US dollar is valued in 17.20, sale 18.95 pesos for purchases and sales. So take notes if you want to exchange your pesos. And let's have a look on the weather. In San Miguel de Allende, we have a really nice weather. It's not sunny, but it's a little bit cloudy, but it's not cold. But I do recommend carry a jacket with you because you never know when it's gonna get cold. If you're gonna go outside, you can have a really nice walk, but it can get cold in the night. And I will continue the news with the firefighters. This weekend incidents occurred.
Well, we are in the middle of the wildfire season of the grassland type. Here we want to continue recommending especially avoid the use and handling of what is pyrotechnics by those young people or children who are in some places. Properly, we have had to realize, especially in the rural communities, which is where we have a little more conflict, that the fires in the afternoons, nights, are mainly generated by this type of artifice, right? We want to ask, please, first of all, is the safety and integrity of each of the individuals, especially the children or minors, and obviously not to put at risk the heritage and the properties. And let's see about our health, mainly, right? We're going to continue asking that you please be very attentive. If you detect someone who causes a fire of this type or any other, report it immediately. We cannot continue to allow our only home, which is planet Earth, to be destroyed. Remember that we are attacking ourselves. In another area, unfortunately, the number of car accidents has increased. Especially Friday afternoon, night, Saturday, around this time because it's the weekend, and many people are visiting our country. Thank you for remembering your families. Thank you for remembering this municipality of your city, that you don't forget it. But we also want to ask for a favor to each and every one of those who attend the social events, parties, whether communal, private, or any kind, that before leaving home, designate a person to drive, especially the vehicles that we have while circulating on our roads, right? Let's avoid an unpleasant situation. Remember that parties are to enjoy, especially with family. The most important thing is that it is a joy, not a sorrow, nor something unpleasant. So we are going to ask them again over there to reactivate that phrase that was left there for history. The resigned driver, not the designated driver, the resigned driver. Because in some way, he is the one who is going to resign himself to not drink. To ask them for that part, right? Especially because we know that beforehand with this, we are taking care of the integrity. And, we want to keep mentioning the fact that we are in full winter events, in winter season. With this, the cold is exacerbated, the situations that could lead us to the use and handling of what are heaters. Obviously, we are going to ask those who use gas heaters to please check from their regulator, their gas tank, their line of use, and the consumption device. Avoid a situation. And obviously, if you use carbon wood, in all cases we are going to ask you to keep your home a little ventilated. Remember that this generates carbon monoxide, and in large concentrations could be fatal. So if the objective is to heat the space, but we can also keep it a little ventilated, so that the air can circulate, and we can avoid the accumulation of carbon monoxide.
One of my favorite things to do when I was a little girl was breaking the piñata, and now as a grown-up, I'm not gonna lie, it's something that I really enjoy. So why don't we listen the history of the piñata? As we know them today, piñatas have a complex and multicultural origin. Although many people associate them directly with Mexico, their roots trace back to ancient civilizations in Asia. It is believed that the earliest forms of piñatas appear in China. These figures were filled with seeds and broken with sticks during Chinese New Year celebrations. Breaking them symbolized attracting good fortune and driving away evil spirits. That tradition caught the attention of European explorers, who brought it to Italy and later to Spain during the Middle Ages. In these countries, the piñata gained a religious meaning related to Lent. The word piñata comes from the Italian piñata, meaning fragile pot, and it was common to use a clay pot decorated with bright colors as part of rituals of reflection and penitence. Piñatas arrived to Mexico in the 16th century with the Spanish missionaries, who used them as a tool to evangelize indigenous peoples. This was when the seven-pointed piñata was created, perhaps the most traditional and symbolic version in Mexico. 7 points represented pride, greed, lust, wrath, gluttony, envy, and sloth. The blindfolded person symbolized blind faith in God, while the stick represented the strength needed to fight against the evil. When the piñata was broken, the candies and fruits that fell symbolized divine rewards of overcoming temptation. Over time, piñata blended with indigenous celebrations. This mixture gave rise to a unique and deeply Mexican tradition. In modern times, piñatas evolved even further. They began to be made with newspaper, paste, and cardboard, which made it easier to create a wide variety of shapes. The piñata was no longer limited to the seven-pointed star and began to take the form of cartoon characters, animals, stars, flowers, and practically any design imaginable. Please let us know in our social media if you already knew this information. And now let's have a look into the origin of the piñata.
Comienza el mes de diciembre y con eso ya huele a posadas, a Navidad, así que hoy vamos a aprender a hacer una piñata fácil y rápido. Sabemos que existe la forma tradicional, que es muy elaborada y que tienen personas haciendo esto durante muchos años, pero hoy te vamos a enseñar la manera más fácil y práctica de hacer una piñata para estas fiestas decembrinas. Ok, ya estamos listos. Los materiales que vamos a necesitar es muy fácil, son cosas que puedes encontrar en una papelería o en tu casa, y vamos a ocupar papel periódico, un globo, muy importante, no tan pequeño, un tamaño regular, papel de China, los colores de tu elección, tus colores favoritos, un poquito de agua, y en esta ocasión vamos a usar algo mucho más práctico, más fácil, que va a ser pegamento. Muy bien, lo primero que vamos a hacer es cortar nuestro periódico. Podemos cortarlo en pedacitos más o menos de este tamaño, no importa, no tiene que estar perfecto, no tienen que ser cuadrados exactos, solamente con que puedas manejarlo. Y vamos a ocupar un poquito de agua con pegamento blanco. Pegamento blanco, es muy simple. Entonces vamos a utilizar un poquito de pegamento, generalmente es lo doble de la cantidad de agua que pusiste en tu recipiente. No importa, tú vas moviendo, diluyendo, y ya te vas a dar cuenta de la consistencia que quieres que tenga, que no sea muy líquido, pero que no sea muy espeso. Muy bien, vamos a inflar nuestro globo y hacer un nudito muy fácil. Vamos a calcular más o menos el tamaño del agujero que quieres que tenga tu piñata para poder introducir los dulces o lo que quieras ponerle dentro. Puedes usar también una brocha o un pincel si no quieres ensuciarte las manos, pero bueno, este es un trabajo muy artesanal, entonces hay que usar nuestras manos y solamente tener cuidado de no ensuciarnos o tirarnos pues todo encima. Entonces la forma en que me gusta hacerlo a mí, mucho más práctica y rápido, es meter el periódico y empezar a cubrir nuestro globo. En el caso de que quieran ponerle dulces, es muy importante poner las capas suficientes de periódico, pero hay más o menos de 5 a 6 capas para que tenga fuerza y que soporte todo el peso de los dulces. Entonces, más o menos así, vamos línea por línea hasta cubrir todo el globo. Ok, a continuación vamos a poner a nuestra asistente a cortar el papel, así que lo que vamos a hacer es doblar nuestro papel de China a la mitad. Volvemos a doblar a la mitad, de nuevo, y aquí voy a hacer un corte porque a veces es complicado cortar como muchos papeles juntos, entonces voy a cortar a la mitad de este papel. Y ahora lo que vamos a hacer es cortar un óvalo, más o menos que abarque todo el papel de China porque no queremos desperdiciar. Más o menos así.
Thanks for watching and staying with us. I have more information for you. Today in San Miguel de Allende, a vaccination campaign started. So let's hear about it.
How are you all? Greetings to the whole audience. Remembering again that we are already working today in our macro vaccination center here in Casas de San Miguel de Allende in the Lajona neighborhood. We are updating vaccination schedules in children under 6 years of age, also applying from the BCG vaccine for those children who just finished. To be born, both in the public and private sectors, it is important that they come to apply this vaccine. And also regularize the schemes of those children who have any pending vaccine within their national health booklet. Also, those children who do not have their booklet can also come to us and we take the opportunity to update their vaccination scheme. And on the other hand, and given the high season of respiratory diseases, we are incentivizing the application of the influenza vaccine and against COVID-19, which we are working with the Pfizer and Moderna laboratories, for which these vaccines are aimed at protecting vulnerable groups, for which we invite those adults, those over 60, pregnant women or women in the postpartum stage, children under 5 years of age, and also those people who suffer from some disease such as diabetes, such as obesity, such as some heart disease, respiratory diseases, also some immunosuppressive disease such as lupus, cancer, people living with HIV, as well as people with chronic kidney failure. It is very important that all these groups are vaccinated, since we are entering, I repeat, a high season of respiratory diseases, which is why it is important that we are 100% protected. We invite the entire population again. We will be working here at the CAIS in San Miguel de Allende from 9 in the morning.
Before we continue, I want to remind you that you can text us in our WhatsApp. The number is 415-296-46680. So you can text us or call us so you can have all the information that we have for you. Let's continue with Heads Up, This is World Around Town, because also bring us important information to start the week. Let's take a look. Heads Up, This is World Around Town. I know that this is a section that you all love, so let's get started with the art Expo that we're gonna have second-hand art book sale. One of our most anticipated events. Sorry for my English. This is my first time telling the news on a different language. So, a unique opportunity to explore and acquire second-hand books carefully curated in subjects like art, photography, architecture, painting, design, and much more. Come and discover true editorial hands that will enrich your collection or spark your creativity. Plus, your donation will directly support the acquisition of new titles of our library's collection. The available copies are in English. The date is Saturday, December 6th, 9 a.m. to until 2 p.m. in the Biblioteca Pública Patio Free. And also we have and now we have the Expo Arte, so you can take a look, read it. It's going to be on Friday, December 5,
10 to 4:30 p.m.
10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Also in La Biblioteca Patio, it's going to be free. Also, we have the calendar to the cultural events on December. We have the 18 A Pastorela. The name is Enseñanzas Inesperadas. It starts at 4 p.m. also in Patio La Biblioteca. The entrance is free. And in Friday 19, we have a posada. We all love posadas navideñas. And we are going to have concerts for Christmas, also piñatas. It's going to start at 5 p.m. also in Patio La Biblioteca. Entrance is free. And also on Friday 19, we have El Cascanueces por Ballet Pavlova, de Casa Hogar Corazón Valiente. This one, it starts at 6 p.m. in Teatro Santa Ana. Also, the entrance is free. All these events are free, so you can't miss the chance. Heads up, this is World Around Town. Let's hear about the national news. Trump talks about inverse migration.
Mr. President, you said that you might denaturalize some American citizens. Can you talk about
You mean people that are in here that shouldn't be here?
that became Americans? Are you trying
Well, we'll
to
see.
revoke
I mean, yeah, we have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized maybe through Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize absolutely.
Stay with us because we have more information for you. With Mexico as Miss Universe, Raul Rocha, one of the pageant's owners, is a topic we've heard a lot about in recent days. And here's more news on the subject.
No tenemos ningún indicio de que haya dinero del crimen organizado en el concurso de Miss Universo, no lo tenemos, ni tenemos relacionado nada que tenga que ver con el concurso como tal, con el concurso, con las investigaciones correspondientes.
Thanks for watching. This was San Miguel Brief. I hope that everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with more information.